Hi everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel and blog. Today we're going to use some mustard seed, some rye persimmon and some walnut stain. I'm going to use a blending brush. We're going to use some smooth night white cardstock. We're going to use a Paper Rose die called Wonderful Birthdays, and it has a matching stamp set. And we are also going to use this new to me Paper Rose. That's the die. So we're going to use it a happy birthday. We're not going to use, that's the only stamp we're going to use out of that. Paper Rose Industrial Elements. Now, I've decided that I'm going to do some mail cards because we all find it really, really hard. Well, I do. I think a lot of my friends do. Find it really hard to do masculine nails. I'm thinking about my nails because I need to get my nails done, but COVID's preventing that. So, masculine cards. So, really I should be starting with the walnut stain, but just ignore that. So I'm going to put the first layer down of this mustard seed. Now we're going to use the Wendy Vecchi, obviously it's there, the Wendy Vecchi Make Art Station, and we're going to use the magnets are really good, they're really strong, and I come back later on and I use it again, and honestly I should have used it a bit sooner. So here I forgot about the ripe persimmon, but we will come back in and do that later on, and we'll add that. Now this stencil has only, it's only got a small area like that's exposed. So what I decided I wanted to do was to come back through later on and make the whole panel these colors. I'm not going to worry too much about having the leftover ink on the platform because it's going to give it a nice little rusty sort of look. So I'll come back through with one layer. Well, strictly speaking, it's more than one layer, but for the majority of the card, it's a one layer. I'm going to go through all the colors, and I will wipe it off shortly and clean it up a little bit because I've got a little bit of brown, but as I said, I'm not worried about that too much, but I don't want it to overtake the whole card. And then what we're going to do is come back through a little bit later and just go and brighten up those, darken up those colors and blend those colors that little bit more. So yes, we all have our issues with masculine cards. I reckon it's because we're all girls. So all the flowery cards and everything is flowers and bling and glitter. I'm going to try and see and do a little bit of a series on male cards. It ain't going to be easy, so be nice. And so this one's going to be our first with a little bit of ink blending. This is a very easy card to reproduce. We've got the water to have the oxide inks do that oxiding reaction that they do, and we're going to pick that up with a little bit of paper towel. It's hard to see, or when I twist it there you can sort of see the texture in it. So I've dried that off, and now I'm going to start with some normal distressed inks, but I'm going to come back in and you can see more of my messy desk. I'm literally like just shrouded. It's unusual to me. So we're going to start with normal inks, and then we're going to clean that off, and I'm going to bring in the oxides again because I thought I'd just give it a try and just see. I don't like to edit out all the things that don't work as well, and this was one of them. It didn't work as well, but it still gave it a lot of nice texture, so it's not a bad thing. But I wanted a little bit more, just make it stand out a little bit more. So I come in with the walnut stain with the oxide and also the ripe persimmon. And what's going to happen is we're going to stamp with the happy birthday a couple of times in VersaFine black onyx, and then we're going to use the die cut over the top. So it's a very, very simple little card, but something to use your stencils with that is nice and easy to play with and reproduce. So I've dried that off a little bit. I've got a stamp from another project in, so we're going to move that up the top. I'm just going to figure out where to place my happy and where I want to place everything, and just play around with it a little bit. Then I'll remove the die cut, and I still have my little tittle over there, which is a miracle, and we're going to stamp it down with the VersaFine. I'll stamp it a couple of times because I haven't used this stamp before, so it's a brand new stamp. You'll see it's like a pretty simple little card. I'm going to come back in with the walnut stain very shortly and play with, or maybe I'll do that in a little while. So we're going to take the backing off. So what I've done is use some, I call it toilet roll. It's super wide. It's just here. It's probably, let me get a ruler out. So it is probably about 12 centimeters wide, and about, it's not quite, it's like 4 3/4 wide, 4 inches wide for the American pips, but it's almost like 12 centimeters wide. So I should have used my magnets before. I'm like, you idiot, use the magnets, use what you've been given. And it worked so much better once I used the magnets. So I've peeled that off a little bit, just bit by bit, just to, I don't know, because it was such a long word, I thought I might struggle with it. And we're just trying to get the backing tape off the little tittle. And on the whole, that's going to be it for our card. I'm going to come back in with the walnut stain distress ink, and I'm not putting very much. You could do more and blend it all through and make it a darker card, but I just wanted that little bit of an edge to have the walnut stain, and that was all. So we've dried that off, and I'm going to glue that down, and that's going to be pretty much the card. So like and subscribe. Click the little bell down below and let you know when I upload next. This is a card for Leslie in Little Bits in Keysborough. So her information will be down below. So it's, yeah, super easy. I hope you enjoyed it and reproduce it. Let me know if you do. Tag me on Instagram. Bye.